What's something you've seen that you can't unsee? The face of a 12-year-old girl. She and her mum came to my gas station to buy alcohol. Mother was pissed drunk. Girl got some chips. Mother got her booze. Girl apologized 1,000 times before she helped her mum back to the cab. This girl looked like she was on the verge of a mental breakdown. 12 years old. Rotten.com hosted a picture way back in the day of a guy without a helmet who had fallen off of his motorcycle face first. Everything from his nose down was gone. His tongue was just kind of hanging there. Lower mandible was totally destroyed. He was very much alive, conscious, and looking directly into the camera. His eyes were the worst part. The genuine terror expressed in those eyes is something I will never ever forget. Why would I enter this thread and read this? God damn it, I forgot that image for quite some time and now it's back. Frick. That video of a dude breaking a glass cup in his AOLA and the shards spilling out with bleeding and stuff. The totally unnecessary sequel to 2 Girls 1 Cup. 1 Man 1 Jar. 3 Guys 1 Hammer. Freaking terrible video. Human beings. Can someone explain what happens? I don't want to watch it. Mobile phone video of 3 men brutally murdering some poor guy with a hammer. Yen like. Prying his eyes put with a screwdriver and such. One of the few gore videos that really has haunted me. I've only ever heard stories about that video, but never seen it. I'm actually really glad I didn't. Not safe for work posts I found on Reddit expecting peen, but found some only face being trashed from a car accident or something. I saw somebody cutting their dong open with a knife for pleasure. His own dong. The blood I wish I could unsee. I wish I could unsee your comments to be honest. Not as much seen as it was heard, but there's a video of a family driving, and a brick flies off the back of a dump truck and smashes the woman in the front passenger seat in the face and all you hear are screams from the rest of the family. There was no gore in that video, just the horrid sounds. I've seen that. It's so awful. This is what gave me several sleepless nights. Not the screams, or the fact that the woman died, but the fact that it all happened so fast and you can never know what can happen to you in life. One moment you're driving with your family, you notice something fly out of the truck trailer in front of you. Next moment you're dead, because there's a brick in your brain. My toe hanging off my foot by a blood vein. This made me noticeably shudder. All of these comments are making me noticeably shudder. Should I keep scrolling down? Keep scrolling down. I saw my dad on a gay peen site. My brother passed away at the beginning of the year and his dog was trapped inside the house for 3 days. There was blood everywhere, it was like viscera cleanup, but worse. I can't drink that away. I took care of the job so our parents would not see the details. I don't wish that scene upon anyone. My uncle blew his head off with a shotgun. Family was too broke to hire people to handle the scene. My other uncle and dad had to clean it up. I can't freaking imagine having to wipe your brother's brain off the wall. Had a neighbor attempt suicide via shotgun. A kind neighbor lady volunteered to help his mum by cleaning up the mess. She brought her 2, under 10 years old, grandsons along to help. They described finding chunks of skull and such. Who the frick makes kids see that it? As a paramedic I have had to clean up my fair share of suicides. Removing dead bodies and digging chunks of the skull from the ceiling and making sure none of the person was left in the room, because routine. You build up a sort of space in your mind where you can go when you have to perform such surreal situations, but they don't always stay there, and you can never get rid of them. My friend had to mope a dead body, a drowned friend of hers, all the way to the hospital like an hour away. This was after a lot of CPR and the ambulance still being over an hour away. Literally hugging the body between her and the driver. Completely messed her up for like a year. Can't imagine cleaning brains of a loved one. A woman's face after it had been ripped off by a chimpanzee. A dog eating a man entire genitalias while 2 men hold his legs apart. I'm assuming he's dead? No, he was alive. I think it was cartels. This dude one time sent me a photo of his cut up peanuts. He was shaming himself for having a small dong and he took a ruler, held it up to his dong, then carved lines all on his peanuts for every tick mark on the ruler. Sorry for not understanding that, but why would he send you that? He was really disturbed. I had fought with him because he bullied me for an eating disorder. Then he came to my work and tried to bring me flowers and take me out, but I rejected him. It was a warped, last-ditch effort to show he was sorry, but also to try to take the focus off what he'd done to me and make me feel bad for rejecting him. He was all sorts of fricked up. My mother dying of brain cancer in a hospital bed. Death pro tip. People gasp as they die, loudly. It's about the worst thing you'll ever hear. Don't skimp on heavy doses of morphine when it starts. Yup, held my dad's hand in the hospital when he passed. It was like a long, maybe 10-15 second. Felt like much longer. Exhale when there already wasn't air in his lungs. And then afterwards his skin was very white and yellow. The discoloration happened so fast. It was awful and traumatizing. But I'm glad he didn't have to be alone. I'm sorry. No worries. She was 83 and ready. Glioblastoma multiforme provided her the easiest possible exit. One day about 3 weeks before she died, she just went to bed and never got up again. She said, while she could still talk, that she loved her bed. She was surrounded by friends and family until the end. I spent almost a month sitting beside her, talking to her and holding her hand. Mentally delirious foster father pointing a gun at me. Oh no. I don't remember the name of the website, but it was about how much you can take starting from level 1 and each page got worse. I stopped when I saw video of a man cutting off his own peanuts. Oh, it is runthegauntlet.com. My friend watched until level 20, and oh boy, he never the same again. Didn't really see it, per se, but that phone call to the police while a pet chimpanzee starts to rip apart her friend's face will always haunt me. There is an article out there about an arguably worse incident that occurred at a chimp rescue in California, I believe. You can find the article fairly easily by googling the worst story I ever heard or something similar to that. It details a man's run-in with 2 chimps that were able to escape a fenced area and visit some order of horrific violence upon him. His crime was bringing his old pet chimp a birthday cake and not sharing it with the other animals. Apparently chimps have a very firm sense of jealousy and fairness, and man did they make him pay for his slight against them. The video of Nick Berg's death. I watched it when I was 24, because I wanted to see if I was as desensitized to real life violence as the media, at the time, claimed people of my generation were. Well, I found out very quickly that I was not desensitized, and I have had nightmares about it ever since. Yeah, that's the thing. We're desensitized to fictional violence, not the real thing. It's really weird how our brains are able to separate real violence from fictional violence. I can watch gory movies or TV shows and not even bat an eye, but one visit to the Watch People Die sub when it was public a few years ago was enough to do me in. An old man tripped in front of bus, then his wife tries to help him. She tripped over him and went under the tire of the bus, and the bus driver didn't see her, then kept driving. Whole body pop, old man survived and saw everything. Oh frick. When I was 10 or 11 I saw that edited to add video of an ermine, mink, fox. It was some little furry creature with a longish snout, being skinned alive. Its whole body was basically degloved. At the end, they tossed the still living creature into a trash pile of other half dead, skinned animals, and it was crying and trying to move. It fricked me up so bad to see that at such a young age. I'm still absolutely horrified. The image will never leave me. I saw a video of a raccoon being skinned alive and thrown into a pile of snow. Watching it writhe in pain until it died is something I'll never forget. At that age, I hadn't fully realized yet that animals and other people were real, other souls just like me, but seeing that video I just knew. It was shocking and heartbreaking finally understanding that that little creature was a soul in there, in horrible pain until it died, for an arbitrary reason. I'm super reverent of life as a result, so that little creature did have some meaning to its life. At least I try to tell myself that. My Labrador has a habit of blowing himself in the front yard, so there's that. My female dog will start licking herself to the point that her back legs are kicking constantly. If I could do that, I'd probably never leave the house. The Facebook post from my ex, proclaiming how wonderful her 3rd-year anniversary dinner was with her fiancé. The official mark of the beginning of their relationship apparently predates the day she dumped me from our 7-year relationship by 2.5 weeks. Oh. I'm sorry. That's freaking horrible. Am I a bad person for thinking they should have dropped that interesting tidbit in the comments section? Don't worry. When my dad and I were cleaning the garage after my stepmom left him after an almost 13-year marriage, we found her journal of all the guys she had slept with. It was a composition notebook and decently filled. Most of the entries were before him, a lot while they were dating, and some while they were married. Most noticeably one of his best friends from high school. After the split, but not yet divorced, she went on a trip to a wedding 4 hours away, this said best friend, and got wasted. Saw on a friend of a friend of a friend's Facebook. Itty people do itty things and you can't change people. Better to have her as an ex now than after being married, a house, kids, and a lot of history together. Thanks for watching the Reddit Radio. If you liked this video, please subscribe and click the like button. Click the top video to see my latest upload, and the bottom video is a random selection pick to interest you.